Hello guys, my name is Amit Sani and I welcome you in this the Daily Hindu Analysis video. In the morning these videos come, in the evening the MCQ videos come. Both these lessons you need to watch here, and both are a kind of a package, because the facts, the important informations we are discussing in the question form in the evening, and that's hardly 15 to 20 minutes lesson, and this is the lesson around 30 to 40 minutes. So both you need to go through, and I'm trying my best to make you understand about these current scenarios in these articles. Expert opinions are coming, and the true situation you are observing here, because that is not available in the mainstream media. So that's the case, and you cannot create your opinions there, because those people are not behaving in a logical way. Here things are apparent, things are scrutinized, and let's start the lesson. 31st of July. Pocket News app is trending on Google Play, and you can download that. These affordable courses by top faculties. The description is given below the video. You can call on these numbers, and you can visit the website also. These all courses are available there. PDF you will get here on this group, and send me a request, I would approve, and Telegram channel's link you will also get there. You can follow me on Instagram too, and that's the link. These are the words that I found, and try them into sentences. Now the first article, important for GS paper 2 mainly, and a very important mains question you will write on this topic. It is talking about the global situation here, the challenges for the world ahead, and the situation and the specific problems for countries like India, and their aspirations and their opportunities and the challenges. Padding up for the next UNSC inning. You see, we are supported by all the countries for the 8th time membership in the non-permanent seat. You see, 5 members are permanent and non-permanent members are 10 in number. For 2 years they are selected, so for 21-22 we will be there, and that's for sure. Next year elections are there, so we will be chosen for that. So that has become nearly true, because they are supporting unanimously to India. Now that's an opportunity, we all know about that. We are aspiring to reach there up to the permanent position, but many obstacles are there, many challenges are there. Today, if we talk about the situation globally, or the international situation, or the diplomatic scenario, or the geopolitics scenario, in all the cases we are not at a very advantageous position. You see, economy is going through a struggling phase. America, China, these kind of countries, they are at loggerheads, and they have locked their homes. Trade wars, tariff wars are going on. So because of that, world growth is stuck. Because of that, it is affecting the developing countries. They are going towards protectionism. So the protectionism also is going to create many hurdles for the developing nations. So India is a developing nation. We have been here in this stage for a long period of time. So we need to solve all these issues, but without their support, without the support of multilateral institutions, and without the support of the robust economy, it's very difficult. And geopolitics is a place where we have many issues with our neighbors. Even we are not able to declare our hegemony in the South Asian region, like Nepal, Myanmar, Sri Lanka. These countries are heavily influenced by China, and Pakistan, China, we have many problems with. So in the group of SAARC, there are many challenges. We are not able to solve these issues. Who will support us in this race of permanent membership? So that's the issue here. And the veto power situation, the veto power is there with these 5 members, permanent members, and they will never want India to be there, so they cannot share their powers. That's apparent. And 4 countries, India, Germany, Brazil, and one more, Japan, is there for the permanent membership. But that's not a simple case there. So that's the situation here. Washington Consensus, they are talking about. What is this? It's a set of principles which they brought about in 1989, I guess, and that was a precursor of globalization. According to these principles, which were supporting the global market and global investments, FDIs, open markets, and the policies of supporting the fair market and consumerism. So these were the things which were given in the Washington Consensus, and this way America started this globalization phenomena, and it got a lot of support to its economy, and it was a clear case that their economies were supported by that. And today, when we are on that path, and we are also getting support from the globalization phenomena, and the world trade is something very huge. Now they are going against this wave, and they are talking about the protectionism. So today, protectionism is supporting America, and at that day, globalization they wanted for their interest. So the world is going for their interest only, and whatever power, whatever hegemony, whatever support and influence they has in this world, they are using that, and they are using that against other countries, and especially these developing countries. Means they are making it very, very difficult for developing countries to reach up to those places where they are today. And if we talk about the foreign policy, heavily militarized policy we are observing here. Yesterday I talked about the issue where Trump politics is going in a manner that where they escalate some issue for some time, and they will de-escalate again. Means the status quo would be there, but escalation and de-escalation is there. And escalation, when it happens, then they show their military strength and all the force. Whatever is happening in the Middle East with all these countries like Syria and Libya, Tunisia, Egypt, the country called Syria, and Jordan, Lebanon, Palestinian region, and Iraq, Afghanistan. What is happening with these countries? These were countries at a good condition, but today they are all devastated, and they are struggling very, very hard. There is a heavy amount of instability prevailing in their political systems. So geopolitically, a lot of disturbances are there for other countries. And now the issues of artificial intelligence, they are heavily analyzing the world's data, and these data analytic neurons they have established, and they are trying to create all those machine learning based systems which will dominate this world. This world is heavily dependent on these technologies and internet platform, digital platforms, and the key will be there with these countries, because they are heavily investing in these researches and all, and we are not able to do that. We are going in that direction, but with a very slow pace. So that's the problem. So artificial intelligence is coming, 5G is coming, and the future decades will be dominated with this race, and these countries will be remaining at edge. So US, China, Russia, these countries will enjoy a lot. And today 5G is a huge issue now. America is trying to block this Huawei company everywhere, but all countries they know that Huawei is the leading company there. So these countries are also entangled in these issues, in this geopolitical issues. Like we are struggling here, we are stuck here. We want to employ a Huawei there, but American pressure is there. So that kind of cases are in front of us. So ultimately they all are going in a direction where they are creating a stressful environment for developing nations. So India aspires to be there at a permanent position in UNSC, but that's not a simple thing today. Okay, and world's biggest economies are there in that race. We are the brightest economy, that's for sure, but it is the case based on our condition which is there till now. But what about the future? We have many challenges. Our banking crisis is there. Our industries are struggling a lot. Automobile industry that is struggling at its peak, and they are shutting down their showrooms and all, and jobs are getting lost. And where we should have more and more jobs, but here the case of job losses is there. So it's a pessimistic environment in the near future for Indian economy, and that's for sure. So how they are going to tackle the banking crisis? How they are going to tackle the private investment crisis? And now we are going for these options which were not there ever before, like the essential foreign currency borrowing and overseas foreign bonds and all. So there may be many challenges in the future, and we will need ultimate level of dedication. But in which way our politics is going, in which way our domestic issues are going on, are they supportive? No. So that's why in the future many challenges are ahead of us. And you see, we have an opportunity that we will be there at non-permanent position, so we can influence some issues there. Like in this multipolar world, these multilateral institutions like WTO and Human Rights Council, UNESCO and all, they must support developing nations, but they are heavily influenced by these developed nations. and we need to reverse that trend. We need to emphasize this thing that non-discriminatory processes are involved there, and they are being used, and they are supporting the developing countries' causes, and they are supporting their free trade and globalization aspirations, because that way only we can progress in this world. So that's the way. And rules-based order is certainly not there. Okay, climate change issue is dominating the scene. Plastics and all we are talking heavily right now, but what kind of steps are being taken? Are they serious? The countries are just talking about the climate change issue. They are not taking any effort there. So that's a problem. And unresolved issues, unresolved geopolitical issues, unresolved these Cold War issues. Cold War means it's a kind of a Cold War only between US, China, US, Russia, and North Korea. Iran issues are developing in their own way, and they are threatening the world peace. Taliban is on a rise, and these groups, they are threatening this region. So this way, this is not a good news. Yesterday we discussed that Afghanistan is facing a lot of troubles. Elections are due, but these terrorist groups, they are dominating the scene there. They have dominated the politics, and people are supporting them, maybe out of fear. So it's not a good situation. It's totally unstable situation, and the consequence will be borne by India also. So that's the case. So we need to be very much dedicated here. This is the only solution, that we remain very much dedicated, and our ultimate potential of diplomacy, our soft power, and all these issues, they are working for India, and we are going in that direction. And we need to take steps to normalize relation with our neighbors first. If reports are true that Modi ji is taking steps to normalize relation with China, then that's a greatest thing that should be there, and that should happen at any cost. At any cost, we should solve the Indo-Pakistan issue as soon as possible. Otherwise, it is hindering many progresses. That's the case, and our progresses are hindered. Then that's a clear situation that we will not have a good future ahead. And certainly the economic crisis like situation is ahead of us if we are not sincere about these issues. So that's the case. International Convention Against Terrorism, that is on the cards for some years now, but that is not finalized yet. And these experiences which are showing us that countries are going for their own interest. The way Trump is talking to Mr. Prime Minister of Pakistan, the way he lied about India's mediation issue and all, and this way it is totally visible that they just want their own interest to be fulfilled. Means they want a interest in Afghanistan, they want a peaceful exit there, and they want the support from Pakistan there, because the key of Taliban is with Pakistan. So that's why they are saying anything. The country which they blocked in all senses, they blocked their the financial support there, but now they are talking to the same country in that vigor. So that's why it's a difficult time, it's a confusing time, it's a stressful stage, and our own potential will only help there. Okay, and we need to solve our South Asian issues, the neighborhood issues, as soon as possible. Otherwise, nobody will clear the path for India to reach up to their permanent position in UNSC. So that's the case. Okay, so in the end, this line completes everything like American policies in India's near neighborhood towards West Asia, Russia and China present challenges that can be met only with great skill and delicate balance. And our diplomacy should be of the greatest level possible, and we should maintain our standards there. Confusing policies will create havoc here. Okay, so it is the 8th term for us as a non-permanent member there, so we have to exploit this opportunity here. Next article, important for GS paper 2 and 3, and a very important case for essay also. It is talking about digital kleptocracy. Kleptocracy means when a country is ruled by those people who have become powerful by stealing others' powers and others' resources. So that's a kleptocracy. So is it India in this making of a digital kleptocracy, the way we are amending the RTI bill, and that's the greatest danger. And how they are discussing the issue? You see, they are celebrating the triple talaq issue. That's good. But they are just ignoring and suppressing this information of RTI. And maybe at this time, they have brought this triple talaq issue so vigorously because, in my mind, I think that it's a case where they have totally practically suppressed this RTI amendment issue, and silently they have passed it, and the consequences will be dire for that, because already there are ways that they are not giving information. The case which is presented by the writer here, he says that I asked for the information regarding UIDI and they blocked all the information, they never give it, and many clauses they invoke there, like section 8D and 8J respectively, the commercial confidence, trade secrets or intellectual property. And what kind of logic was that? That was unbelievable for by writer. And if they gave any information, that is very much complex, and it is very not very easy to decipher that data, and dictionaries abbreviations are given which are not spelled anywhere, and figures are inconsistent, and illogical data is given there. If somebody would ask, then they will send the whole draft to that person. Means that person has to go through whole draft. They are not giving any specific information for that. So this way they are blocking the information already, and now they are going for this amendment. And already some public furor was there regarding farmer suicide, the employment data, bungled migration data in census, and controversy over the methodology used for the calculation of GDP numbers. So all these things were suspicious, but they never gave clear data regarding that. And now this bill. So you tell me one thing, if any case is there, I tell you that solve this case, and I'm not going to give you any information whether it's a murder, whether it's a suicide, and I will not provide you any kind of pictures of the spot, and I will not provide you any kind of evidences for that, and I will not tell you even that the person was killed by a knife, or the person was killed by a throat slitting. So can you solve the case? No. Information is vital, information is needed. So how can you make right policies? How can you scrutinize anyone's policies without any information, if they are not going to give you any information? And they are indirectly blocking all the information. They may deny the most important information, most needed information in the future, because they are bringing those kind of provisions there. So in the future, we have to blindly believe the government, and how much honest these governments are, we all know about that. Maybe today there is a wave in India that they are blindly supporting anything, any foolish thing by the establishment. They are blindly believing that. And as I gave you this example that they could not arrange the helicopter for Pulwama martyrs, but they can arrange helicopters on a regular basis for these Kamadias. I'm not against any procession of Kamadias and all, but I am objecting. Why could not? Why this helicopter was not arranged? Why they could not arrange this helicopter for these soldiers and all? Why this kind of things we are observing? Why this kind of maniacs are roaming freely there? The girl who raised voice against the Unnao victim and all, she died, and they claim about the Beti Bachao and Beti Padhao Yojana, and they ask for the ultimate moral grounds. Okay. The Azam Khan's case is in front of us. That was okay. That Azam Khan had to apologize, and that was utterly necessary. But what about the other claims, the vital claims? The person is nowhere mentioned in their in these actions, and you are not ready to take that case further. And the people who are raising voices today, because they are in the government, they are not saying anything about that. Whole family was killed. The girl unfortunately has died last night. What bigger issue we need to understand the practical sincerity of the establishment? Employment data was leaked and they did not accept it, and after elections they openly accept that. Before the elections they did not accept the Balakot strike data, and they did not accept that one person was killed, and after election they silently accept that, and the whole information is not there on the popular media, because that can put these people in some questionable ground, and that will tarnish their image. So that's why the committed media is not showing you anything. And in this environment, how can we blindly believe about these issues. How can we believe everything in the future which is set by the government? So that's the case, and it doesn't happen in democracy. It is a clear case of autocracy, where tyrants are there and they do not want to give you any information. Whatever they say, you have to believe that. If you do not believe that, if you put questions there, then there can be actions against that. And now we have institutional ways. They are openly calling the trendy phrases like urban Maoist and all. What is the legitimacy of that particular phrase? What is that legitimacy? That was a kind of a trend on Twitter, but that is actually mentioned by our Home Minister, and they were discussing the UAPA bill. Means in the future, if they declare somebody as urban Maoist, that is at their hem, whom they are going to declare that. So they can put a charge in the UAPA Act also. Means these are institutional ways. Means nobody can question the government in the future, and information will not be available because in the support of your argument, if you are questioning something, then you need some solid data support for that. But the data will not be available because RTI is weakened now. So that's a clear case that always they are choking the normal public. They cannot gather any information and they cannot question anything. And they have institutional ways of suppression now. They have vague informations. In this UAPA Act, many things are vague. They are not clear. Means a lot of discretion would be involved, and they may target this way. There are possibilities for that, and there is no question. There are no two opinions about that. That there are many suspicions. There are many loopholes. There can be loopholes because there are many vague definitions. So that's the case. And once the person is charged under this provision, then no remedy, no bail, nothing is allowed. So that's the case. So this is the case of believing blindly the government, and the case of RTI. Now about the data, digital footprint. They are pushing so hard for the digital footprint of the people, the data of the people, the Aadhaar data, everything they want us, the facial data they want the biological crucial information, and they want all the movement to know about. They want the banking transactions, everywhere they want information. But about them, they do not want to give you any election data. They do not want to give you any election funding data. They are clearly saying that we will not tell you anything, who is giving us money, and we will not give you any information because we are weakening the RTI now. So these are open slaps on the people's cheeks. And this digital footprint issue, this is so crucial. In the future, everything would be dependent on the data. You see, they say that you move your mouse on the screen, every information is available with these internet giants, and now they are going for data localization also. If that is possible, means whole data would be there within our territory, with our governments. Means our government would be able to know what you are searching for, what you are watching, which website you are watching, what you are typing, what you are moving your mouse onto. Everything would be known to the government, and they want all that data, but they do not want to give you any kind of data of their own. And the clause they add there, that is of national security. In the name of national security, they are taking all kinds of data, and data leakages are the ultimate reality there. That's for sure. Even Mr. Gadkari says he informed the parliament that they have earned 65 crore rupees from the sale of vehicle registration and licensed data. They say that it was no harm in selling that data. Means they have earned that data. They have earned money from the data leak, and that was not a leak actually. I'm sorry, that was intentionally given. So they are monetizing the data. So they are asking for the data. They are forcing to give you all the data, and now they are able to monetize that. And the full scale privatization wave is going on. We know about the railways, we know about the Air India, we know about the airports now. Huge numbers of the airports are going to be privatized now, and going to a limited number of corporate houses. Okay, we all know who is at advantage there. Adani has won all the proposals there, and in the data case, many selected companies are getting advantages there. Means today, what the information which is available with the government or maybe the state agencies, that can be easily given to the private companies because privatization is going on, and they may bring those kind of clauses that they can give all these data to the private companies, and the loopholes are certainly there. So in the end, private companies will have all the data with you, and that's the clear case. That's why you are having those kind of targeted advertisements. You search for anything on Flipkart or Amazon, or maybe anywhere else on the Google, similar kind of advertisements you will have on your pages, similar kind of targeted advertisements there. So this case is clear, and in the survey they are proposing a utopia there, means everything is great, we are bringing best provisions. They are not talking about the details there, they are just making those generalized statements that everything is going to be great, people will be heavily empowered, and our girls will be safe. Everything is totally utopic there and totally misplaced. No detail they are ready to give there. And when we go into detail, because still the RTIs are available, so if we go into the detail, all suspicions are there. Every suspicion is in front of us. Like they targeted the Narega employees because these are poor people. So ICCI functionaries sold insurance policies to these customers, means they knew that these are poor people and they are not much educated people, and they gave them very attractive proposals and all. Maybe they took some insurance policy, maybe took some loans, and they know that they won't be able to repay them back. So this way they will take everything in their lives, whatever they have, they will have to submit that. And there is a case of America where they developed an algorithm to identify vulnerable targets, and they went for such histories of single African American mothers, and they targeted these mothers, and they sold them home loans or education loans because they knew that they are not able to afford them, and they know that they won't be able to repay them. So they put some attractive proposals there, and they get some collaterals with them, which were very easy at that time. Their norms were very much easy because they thought that we will make it up, but companies knew that they won't be able to repay that because their history, that history tells us, the financial history, everything that tells us about these targeted groups. So African American mothers, they got their loans and now they are not able to repay them. So this is the targeted case, means in the future establishments, governments, they can target specific type of people. They have all the database with them. They have all the database of all the population, so out of that population they can target anybody. Suppose in the future minorities are targeted like that, and you see how smart this way is. They know these are poor people, they won't be able to repay these loans, and they are stuck in these financial conditions, so they will be very easily trapped. And in the future, suppose somebody is giving them 10 lakh rupees loan, and whatever they have, means like they have their own home, and the home is put there as a collateral. In the future, if they are not able to repay those loans, then their homes would be sold by these companies. They all know about that. So this is the targeted case, and that's why they said that it's a digital kleptocracy. It means they steal the data. Anyhow, they get the data and they create profiling out of that, and they can target any people's group. So that is the way of data protection, and the leakages and the merciless provisions which are there, loopholes which are there, and there is no guarantee that we can save all these things with the data protection and the privacy laws. There is no guarantee because loopholes are there, and they are going for all centralizing this data. They are not even keeping this data with the states or something like that, or the companies. They are centralizing the whole data, means in one shot, if that data is breached, then your all aspects of lives are open to the culprits.